All right, let's just get right into it. The May 2024 Google leak has pretty much turned everything we thought we knew about anchor text completely on its head. I mean, the old playbook? It's officially obsolete, and now we have the proof. You know, for over a decade, 14 years, the entire SEO industry has been stuck on this one idea: anchor text ratios. This quote really just says it all. It's almost laughable. And it is. Looking back now, this obsession was so misplaced. The ground has totally shifted right from under us.
So to really wrap our heads around this, we're going to break it down into 5 parts. First, we'll tackle the old anchor text myth. Then, we'll listen to the whispers from the patents that were giving us clues all along. After that, the big one, how the leak confirms everything. That leads us to why context is the new king. And finally, we'll put it all together with a new link building mantra that you can actually use.
Okay, Section 1. Let's start by digging into the old conventional wisdom, the stuff that dominated SEO for so long. I'm talking about the anchor text myth and that old, tired dogma of ratios. This right here is the heart of the change. The old way of thinking was this: well, obsession with getting the percentages just right. I need 5% exact match, 20% branded, all that stuff. It was like being an accountant for your backlinks. But the new reality, which the leak blew wide open, is that Google doesn't care about your spreadsheet. It cares about contextual relevance, the words around your link. The game has changed from math to meaning.
And you know, Google actually tried to tell us this was coming. Remember the Penguin update back in 2012? The whole point was to go after over-optimized anchors, and man, did the industry freak out. But here's the thing. Back then, the tech wasn't quite there to fully realize that vision. Now, with their AI and language models, it's here. Google can finally understand language and intent in a way that makes counting ratios look like a relic from the past. Okay, so this wasn't some sudden overnight change. Let's move on to the early clues, the whispers we were getting from Google's own patents. The signs were there if you knew where to look. Just look at this timeline. It's kind of incredible. We're going all the way back to 2003, when a patent was already talking about indexing text near an anchor. A year later, another one explored link analysis beyond just PageRank. And then in 2013, the legendary Bill Slawski connected the dots and coined the term anchor text snippets. He theorized this was all about surrounding text. This has been a 20-year journey, not a surprise attack.
So what exactly are these anchor text snippets? Well, the theory was simple. Google isn't just looking at the handful of clickable words. It's evaluating the entire sentence, the whole context, to figure out what a link is really about. People like Bill Slawski were true detectives, digging through these dense patents and putting together theories that, as we're about to see, were spot on.
And here we go. This is the main event, the hard data from the Google leak that took all that brilliant theory and turned it into cold, hard, undeniable fact. For SEOs, this was like finding the Rosetta Stone. And when I say the leak was big, I mean it was absolutely massive. We're talking about 14,014 different attributes documented in their internal APIs. Let that number sink in for a second. 14,000. It gave us this completely unfiltered, unprecedented look inside the machine.
Now, what's so crucial to understand is that the leak didn't really reveal a bunch of brand new, shocking ideas. What it did was act as a Rosetta Stone. It took all those theories that the smartest people in our industry had and translated them into Google's internal code. We finally got confirmation, in their own words, for what we suspected all along.
And this table just lays it all out plain as day. We had a theory about site-wide quality? Boom! There's an attribute called site authority. Thought user clicks mattered? Meet nav boost and last longest clicks. Suspected you'd get dinged for irrelevant anchors? Confirmed. It's called anchor mismatched emotion. And that feeling that newer links got more love? Say hello to the freshness twiddler. It's all right there in the code. And of course, with confirmation comes a new way of thinking. This quote from Big Toa's guide really captures the more aggressive black hat angle. They talk about relevance in EEAT. We talk about source code. It's this idea of, okay, forget the nice public-facing advice, let's just focus on what the code actually says and manipulate that. And if you want to dive deep into that source code perspective, you absolutely have to pick up Big Toa's Google Ranking Factors book. It's the ultimate guide to this leak. Find it at bigtowa.gumroad.com/Google Ranking Factors, or just click the link in the description. It's essential now. So, now that we know these signals are real, how does Google actually use them to read the context around your links? This is where we get into the practical stuff. It turns out to be a pretty straightforward but really powerful three-step process. First, the system looks at the full left context. That's literally everything before the link. Step 2, it looks at the anchor itself. And step 3, it analyzes the full right context, everything after the link. It's not just about the anchor, it's about the entire neighborhood that the link lives in.
But it gets even more granular than that. The leak shows us that the entire sentence is being optimized for relevance. There's a system called Simplified Anchor that actually scores your internal and external links differently. They're even looking at font size and styling with an attribute called average term weight. And they're measuring how close your site is to trusted seed sites, like major news outlets or universities, with something called PageRank nearest seeds. Every little detail matters.
All right, let's put this all together. What's the new playbook? What's the mantra we should all be chanting in this post-leak world? It's simple. It's about earning the link and earning the click.
Now this might be the single biggest bombshell from the entire leak. It's a system they have called the Tiered Link Index. Basically, a link has no real value until it gets clicks. If you have a backlink on a page that nobody ever visits or interacts with, that link gets thrown into a low-quality bucket and is pretty much ignored by the ranking algorithm. A link without a click is worthless.
And that's the new strategy in a nutshell. It's not enough to just acquire a link anymore. You have to get the link and the click. You have to think about link building and content promotion as two sides of the same coin. A link on a dead page is a dead link, period.
So it really all comes down to this one final question you have to ask yourself. We've seen the theories from the patents, we've seen the undeniable proof in the leak, we know the new rules. So the only question left is, your old strategy might have worked back in 2012, but does it work today?